again, Facebook friends. It's a privilege to be here with you on the live broadcast. This month is October, and we have been discussing breast cancer and how to fight it. Let me take the privilege now and welcome all our viewers from the local communities and from the global community. We realize that there's so many people that are tuning into our program, and we invite you to continue to do so every week. And kindly share our program with your friends and your relatives. The idea for being here on Get Health with Dr. Cooper is just to educate, inspire, and empower you to take charge of your health. As physician, we're here to assist you, but my goal is to educate you so you will know how you can change lifestyle and therefore enjoy a healthier, happier, and longer life. Now, over the last few weeks, we have been discussing breast cancer. Last week, I had two of my patients here. They told us their stories. And today, we are blessed to have two nurses that have walked the road of being diagnosed with breast cancer. Now, as you know, breast cancer is the leading cause of death in women. Actually, it's the second. Breast cancer is the number one cancer in women, second to heart disease in terms of death. And we have these ladies that have come on to share their story. The most important thing I want you to take from this broadcast today is to learn that you can prevent. Prevention is better than cure. Now, we want you to learn that you need to screen, do your yearly screening. However, prevention is number one. So before I discuss all the prevention means, I am going to welcome my two guests to the show today. I have Janie. Welcome, Janie.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. It's an honor to be here with you.
Very good. And I have Alicia.
Hello,
Welcome.
Dr. Cooper. Thank you.
Good. So these two ladies have had breast cancer, but obviously they're survivors. They're doing very, very well. Now, in the show, I mentioned that there's a high incidence of breast cancer beyond age 50 years old. But these two ladies, fortunately or unfortunately, they were diagnosed young. Now, Janie, I know I've had you on my shows before to talk about your story. Tell us a little bit about when you were diagnosed, how you were diagnosed, and how you were treated, and how you're doing today.
Firstly, I was diagnosed with a self-examination myself, and I went to the doctor and look forward to discovering this. And we do have yearly mammograms, and it's prevention and it's immediate action right after you have been diagnosed. And mastectomy followed, and the surgery, chemo, and radiation were first in.
How are you doing right now, Janie?
Right now, I am doing very well, since now I attended what we have a great program here in the Valley called the Wellness Center. Now I have changed my lifestyle with exercises and learning to prepare nutrition foods. And I wish I was available when I first went through my chemo and radiation, due to it really has helped me and strengthened my body. And just like Dr. Cooper says, let thy food be our medicine.
That's right, Janie. I love that. So you're opening up the discussion for factors to prevent breast cancer. Now, in our past show, we discussed that there are certain risk factors for breast cancer. Risk factors that are uncontrollable. For example, family history and genetics. However, I discuss modifiable risk factors. And those are the things that you have control over. For example, what you eat, how you live, how you control your stress. So Janie was diagnosed initially with breast cancer of one breast, and then she had the second cancer. Janie, what was the time between the first and the second breast cancer?
The first breast cancer was diagnosed in 2007, and my second breast cancer was diagnosed in 2014, a period of 5 years. And 9 months later, I was diagnosed with right kidney cancer.
Very good. Oh, well, so you have had them all. You have had cancer twice and then colon cancer. This is a bit unusual. No, cancer of the kidney, I'm sorry. Jenny, is there a history of cancer in your family? Who else has cancer in your family, Jenny?
One of my other sisters has bilateral breast cancer, and that also runs colon cancer in my family. So we're a very high risk family. It's hereditary in our family. Even though we've done the testing, the blood testing, it has proven negative.
Right, so she's
So-
mentioned the BRCA1 gene and BRCA2. These are genes that if you have these genes, then your risk of breast cancer is very high. Now, in Janie's case, she did not have this BRCA1 or BRCA2, but probably she has different genes because there are several members of her family with different types of cancer. And if you're listening to me out there and you are someone with a family history of many different cancers, then you need to realize that you have to take charge of what you do on a daily basis. How do you eat? It is believed that food is the #1 risk factor for many diseases, including breast cancer or other cancers. So if food is a risk factor, then food should be a prevention, eating the right food. Now, before I go to my next guest, I'm going to mention a few things that you need to decrease from your diet if you want to protect yourself from breast cancer. One is processed or cured meat. So what are those? These are things that many people like to eat: ham, sausage, bacon, and all these things. Bologna, these are processed food. The World Health Organization classified these food as class 1 carcinogens. What are carcinogens? Carcinogens are substances that increase the risk for cancer formation. Now, the way you prepare your food can also be a problem. Grilled or fried meat can be dangerous to your health. For example, grilled meat will produce polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon, a chemical that is carcinogenic, meaning therefore it can produce cancer. Fried meat, for example, can also produce another types of amines that can be dangerous for your health. What about excessive calories from animal products, fats and protein? Excessive calories will lead to obesity. Remember, we discussed in one of the show that obesity is a risk factor for cancer. Why? Because the fat cells will produce estrogen, especially in the postmenopausal woman, and that estrogen will feed cancer cell formation. Now, so try to maintain a healthy weight. Now, salted or cured meat is also another problem because these food are prepared with a substance called sodium nitrite. Sodium nitrite is used in curing meat for longer shelf life, for better taste, for the color. However, sodium nitrite will produce nitrous amines, and these are carcinogen. So if you're listening to me, then think about changing what you eat and how you eat. Now let me welcome Alicia. Alicia is an RN, and Alicia is diagnosed as well with breast cancer. Alicia, how old were you when you were diagnosed?
I was 47 years old.
47, so you were
Yes.
pretty young.
Yes, in my opinion, yes.
So how were you diagnosed? What happened? Did you palpate and found the lump?
Well, that's what a lot of women get surprised because the first thing that they ask me, well, didn't you feel it? And I said, no, I did not. I would do my monthly checks. I was still menstruating. And then every year I would have my mammogram. Well, 2 years ago, they call me and they tell me that something is suspicious. And I had it biopsied and it came out positive.
Uh-huh.
So everybody still tells me, "Well, didn't you feel it?" And I said, no, I could not feel it. But the mammogram is what detected it.
Yes.
And I'm so glad for that.
That's right.
That I kept up with my mammograms.
Let me mention here, Alicia, that although we encourage ladies to do the self-breast examination, now if the lump is very small, then it will not be detected.
Exactly.
However, if you do the self-breast examination, you tend to know your anatomy. So if there's a change somewhere, then you will be able to identify and get help. Now you got your mammogram, your screening mammogram, and the cancer was detected.
Yes.
All right. So after the mammogram, you went to a biopsy, or a sonogram. Which one came first?
I did do a sonogram, and then they did a biopsy. I was considered stage 1, caught very early.
Very nice. Very nice.
Less than 1 centimeter.
Very good. Ladies, if you do your mammogram early, then the chances of you responding to chemotherapy is much better. Early detection is important. Of course, prevention is better, but when you're diagnosed early, then your chances of fighting the disease is very high. Remember, we mentioned that worldwide, 1.7 million women are diagnosed each year with breast cancer. However, only 500,000 of those women are dying from breast cancer. So therefore, treatment option right now and early detection can help us fight cancer. So for Alicia, she was diagnosed early, and then she went to treatment. How were you treated?
I had to go through the chemotherapy. I had a mastectomy, and then I went through the chemotherapy. Even though it was less than 1 centimeter, we have different types of cancers.
Sure.
And depending on the type of cancer you have, that is how it's treated.
Very good.
And
so you had mastectomy and
chemotherapy.
No radiation therapy.
No radiation because of my stage, but everybody's different.
Right.
But the important thing is that it's caught early, and
Right.
you do what you have to do every year.
Right. And how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I'm happy.
Very
I have
nice.
a second chance.
Amen.
And yes, right. And continue with my medication.
Very good. Very good.
So, and continue to check myself
Right.
and my yearly mammograms.
Excellent. Now, when you were diagnosed and going through the treatment, what effect did it have on your family?
It was very hard for them. But you have to keep a positive attitude.
Right.
Because they also go through a lot. And they have to see that you're strong.
Very good. Do you have a faith community? Did you get any support?
I got a lot of support from the other women that got treated where I was.
Amen.
You get to know each other. You talk and you comfort yourselves.
Very good. How are you helping others to fight cancer? Because our focus is right now is to teach others, to educate and empower to fight this disease. I know you're a nurse and you continue to work, but is there anything you're doing to empower ladies to take control and to fight this disease?
Yes. I can't help it when I see ladies when they say that I'm too young, it's not going to happen to me, I don't have to have a mammogram, I'm too young. That's when I step up and I tell them it's very important.
Very good. Very good.
It's happening too often.
Yes, yes, yes.
And we need to get ahead of this. We need to beat this.
I agree. Thank you, Alicia. Now, Janie, I know you are very active. What are you doing to help ladies fight this cancer?
First of all, we have a buddy system, and I invite ladies and I remind them of their mammograms, and we do mammograms and colonoscopies, and I keep a ledger for them also, and I call them, it's time to go to the doctor again. I'm going with you. So it's more of a buddy system that we do have available. And also I teach nutrition classes on how to cook, avoiding all types of processed meats.
I love that, Janie. So, Janie, you have become a mentor.
I have become
A mentor to ladies. Bravo, Janie. And you know what you're doing right now? You're reaching out to ladies globally. And I want you all to share this video. Share this video with your sister and your brother and your husband and your church members, because we want to empower women to fight this disease. And we mentioned that 99% of the time breast cancer, is found in women, but some men also have breast cancer. Yearly in the United States, 250 men are diagnosed per year with breast cancer, and about 50 of those will die, while 240,000 women here in the United States are diagnosed. So we want to empower ladies to take control and to suppress and decrease the statistics. So Jenny, I love the fact that you have the body system. You're encouraging ladies to go out, get their mammogram done. You are also accompanying them to get the mammogram done. And Janie, you are teaching cooking classes. Where did you learn that? Tell us a little bit.
I had the honor of going to Dr. Cooper's Wellness Center, and there I learned the importance of exercising and changing my diet. Not only did they show me how to change my diet and what different foods I could incorporate to get a better protein and better health for myself, and also I got to taste the food firsthand there. It's very delicious, and it's very nice to know that we have a place like that. So ladies, if you're going to have, or you are having or experiencing side effects from your chemo or even your radiation, you need to follow up and change your diet. You can follow up with Dr. Cooper's wellness class on Facebook or on
online, yes.
Online, and also in Channel 3 at 8:30 on Fox News.
Yes. So if you live in the Rio Grande Valley, yes, I do have a in-house healthy cooking class, health education, lifestyle changes. But online, I do have an online program. You can go to my website. It's www.drdonacooper.com. And my name is spelled with one D, so it's D-O-N-A, Cooper.com. I want to reach out to people not only here locally in the United States, but also globally. So if you're listening to the program and you want to learn how to change your lifestyle, then reach out to my online program. Also, if you want to know how to eat healthier, what should you eat and what should you drink, I'm going to discuss that in the program as we continue. But I also have a cookbook, incredibly delicious vegan, that you will find beautiful, over 100 recipes there that you can use to help to prevent not only breast cancer, but colon cancer, diabetes, hypertension. I also authored another book, 14 Days to Amazing Health. I do have the entire wellness program in that book. So that's another book you can find at my website or online. Now, Alicia, is there anyone else in your family with breast cancer?
I have a small family, just me and my sister, but on my father's side, all his brothers and sisters died of cancer, bone cancer, stomach cancer, but so far in my family, sister, mom, no cancer. You don't have to have a family history of cancer.
Absolutely not.
I found that out.
Right. That's just one risk factor.
Yes.
But your lifestyle, and we're going to emphasize lifestyle here. The way you live your life is very important. We discuss that inactivity is a risk factor for breast cancer, not only breast cancer, but for many diseases such as obesity, diabetes, hypertension. Not eating the right diet, not consuming the right diet. And as we continue, we're going to go on to what are the foods that will protect you against cancer. And if you already have cancer, how can you improve your health so that your cancer will not return? I think at this time we're going to take a break. We're going to go into a video, and I'm going to be discussing some of the means of preventing cancer. So let's run the video. Are you at risk? Sorry about that, you could not see the video, but let me discuss a few things that you can do to prevent yourself from getting cancer, breast cancer, any cancer. You know, studies have shown that in order to prevent cancer using food, then there are certain things you need to do. Now, food that are high in vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, fiber, and phytochemicals will prevent breast cancer or other cancers. It is believed that fruits together with vegetables are the most effective anti-carcinogenic food. And scientists have studied and shown that abundance of fruits and vegetables will decrease the risk for cancer. And I think that is why Janie has dedicated her life to empowering her ladies on how to eat and what to eat. And sometimes it's very difficult to change lifestyle. It's difficult to change the way you eat. And a lot of time people believe that if they do not consume animal product, then they're not getting enough protein. Janie, I know you were at the wellness center, and tell me what's your daily diet right now? What do you consume on a regular basis?
On a regular diet, I would consume fruits and vegetables in the morning in a shake with some oatmeal. And for lunch, it would be a salad, any type of vegetables and fruit, and also soy. And I can do any food with that. And dinner would be all kinds of fruits and beans, legumes, and it's very healthy. And you don't have to say that you're going to go out and spend so much money in your groceries. It's a lot less, really, because you're not buying none of the meat products or any canned products.
That's true. So a lot of people think that if they were to go vegetarian, then the cost would be higher, but really you're going to be saving money. And you can just try it for a week. Try it for 2 weeks, and you're going to see that you're going to be feeling more energetic. Your skin will look better. You'll have better bowel movements, and of course, you're going to save a lot of money. Let me see if the tape is running. Let's go back and see if you could listen to this video. Are you at risk for breast cancer? Or were you diagnosed with breast cancer? Is there anything you can do to prevent yourself from breast cancer? Studies have shown that making simple lifestyle changes may indeed protect you or may reduce your risk of recurrent cancer, especially women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer. Let's begin with simple routines. Number 1, you must obtain a yearly screening mammogram for those women age 40 and above. Number 2, monthly breast examination are also important. Most breast lumps are usually detected by the patient herself. Number 3, avoid prolonged use of hormone replacement therapy, that is the use of estrogen. Number 4, embrace a diet that is focused on optimizing your health and reducing disease risk. Will include fresh and whole food and be rich in a variety of vegetables. Research has shown that cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, Brussels sprout, cauliflower, kale, and cabbage are closely associated with reducing the risk of cancer. Avoiding sugar, processed or refined food will lower the formation of bodily toxin and improve weight management. And number 5, regular physical exercise. Moderate to vigorous exercise for at least 30 minutes a day can significantly reduce the risk of obesity, hyperlipidemia, diabetes, hypertension, and even the risk of cancer. Number 6, maintaining an adequate level of vitamin D is shown to reduce the risk of breast cancer. Vitamin D is a prohormone that impacts gene modulation. Therefore, having an adequate level of vitamin D will decrease gene mutation and therefore decrease the risk of cancer. So, in addition to having the yearly mammogram, ask your doctor to check your vitamin D level at your next visit. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more information on prevention of breast cancer. There you see that I went through some of the risk factors and some of the things that you need to do. The focus is to help you fight. If you already have cancer, then we can fight together, and you don't have to have a recurrence. You don't have to have a second cancer. If you do not have cancer, then there are things you can do to cancer-proof your health. Cancer-proof. That means you're going to change your lifestyle, change what you eat and how you eat to prevent yourself from getting breast cancer. Now, Janie, I'm going to go back to you because I know I interviewed you in the past and you said you had incorporated this whole lifestyle change in your family. What are you doing with your family to help them to cancer-proof their lives?
It's like teaching them how to cook. If I'm going to cook breakfast, there's not going to be any eggs. There's going to be soy, and if they want soy, it tastes just like eggs, and I can cheat them, and they won't know.
Good.
And if they want pastas for lunch, or they want spaghetti, or they want lasagna, it's wheat pasta, and it's all vegetables in the lasagna. There is no meat. And they're getting used to it.
Excellent, excellent. I love that, Janie. You know, maybe a year or two ago, I had a patient that walked into my office. She had breast cancer, thyroid cancer, and diabetes. She came in very, very distraught. She had abdominal discomfort, diarrhea. She wasn't feeling well, and she needed answers. So what I did, I sat her down and I said to her, you know what? How would you like to become healthier, to feel better, to get rid of the diarrhea from your glucophage and to feel healthier? I said, I'm going to ask you to go on a plant-based diet for 2 weeks. That means no dairy, no eggs, no meat, no fish. Lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, lots of nuts, lots of grain. And you know what? She did it. And she came back 2 weeks later. She could not believe what happened to her. She felt better. The abdominal discomfort disappeared. She had more energy, and her sugars were controlled. So if you're listening to me, if you're watching me, what I'm telling you is actually proven. Since food is the #1 risk factor for lifestyle diseases and some cancer, then believe it or not, then food then can be your medicine. As a matter of fact, many centuries ago, the father of medicine, Hippocrates, said, let food be thy medicine and thy medicine be food. And nowadays, there are many healthcare providers, health coaches, who are now teaching that. Let me show you how to eat. Let me show you what to avoid. Let me show you how to prepare your meals, how to read the labels. And patients are doing very well. Now, Alicia, is there anything you think you're going to be doing in order to prevent this cancer from reappearing?
Yes. I'm still recovering from my chemotherapy. I still have a lot of, but slowly I'm avoiding all sugars. I don't add any sugar to my food. I don't add any salt to my food. If I do drink a sugary drink, I water it down half and half, and I don't have the whole sugar. I try not to eat breads or tortillas and use a fork. I'm slowly starting to take care of myself.
Sounds good, Alicia, and I like that. Because if you start taking care of yourself, you're going to be like Janie here.
Yes.
The cancer's going to stay away.
Yes, and that's definitely what I want.
Amen. That's right. You know, in order to prevent cancer and any lifestyle diseases, we need to take a holistic approach to health. So eating a healthy, nutritious diet is one factor, but exercise is another factor. And of course, maintaining a stress-free life. I know that in our world today, especially in the United States, that it is very difficult to be stress-free. But in one of our later programs, I will discuss stress on your health. So stress can also be a negative factor on your health. And we mentioned in our previous shows that faith, prayer, meditation, having a faith community is conducive to good health. Is there anything you want to tell us, Janie, before we move on?
Just that prevention is much better than having to go to the surgery. Prevention, self-examination, monthly, routine, buddy up with somebody, remind them, hey, it's your birthday, do something for you. Let's go for your mammogram. It's time. You know, you want to see your children. They're young. You want them to be around to view them, to help them, to be there, to love them. And you can't do that if you don't love yourself first. So I strongly believe that you need your self-examinations every month and follow up with a mammogram.
Very good, very good. And if you're watching us right now, then take out your pens and paper. We're going to go through some fruits and vegetables that are cancer preventing. Fruits and vegetables that have anti-cancer properties. And now it is believed that all fresh vegetables are rich in vitamins, antioxidants, and phytochemicals. These are capable of neutralizing carcinogenic substances. You know, a study showed that the blood of vegans, these are people who do not consume any animal products, tend to fight cancer. Cancer cells have a difficult time growing and multiplying if you are vegan. So therefore, if you want to cancer-proof your health, then you need to consume more fruits and vegetables. Let's look at the different fruits and vegetables that are healthy for you or that have cancer-preventing properties. Citrus fruits such as lemon, oranges are high in vitamin C and flavonoids. They're also high in lemanoids and pectin. These are chemicals that fight cancer. So what should you have in your breakfast plate? You should have something like orange and grapefruit and tangerine because these have anti-cancer property. Now plums and apples, these are good to fight colon cancer. Now pineapples, these are wonderful for stomach cancer. So when you go out there to buy fruits, make sure you're buying some of the fruits that I am discussing. Grapes. Grapes are wonderful to fight cancer, especially eating the skin of the grape. Grape have a special chemical that will help to fight cancer. Berries. Berries, whether blackberries, strawberry, any berries, these are rich in anthocyanins, and they're powerful antioxidants that will neutralize the carcinogenic effect of free radicals. Guava, kiwi, these are high in vitamin C. And I remember I said vitamin A, C, and E are wonderful anti-cancer agent. So I'm going to ask Alicia, tomorrow morning, what are you going to have for breakfast? What should be on your breakfast plate?
Oh, I'm going to have a wonderful orange and pineapple. That sounds delicious. It's sounds delicious.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now let's look at grains. You already know that refined grains are unhealthy. What are refined grains? Grains like white rice, white bread, these are not necessarily good for health. Whole grains such as quinoa, whole grain cereal, whole grain bread, brown rice, black rice, wild rice, these are high in fiber. Now, fiber will accelerate movement through the bowel, through the intestine, thus removing cancer-causing substances from your digestive tract, and thus will decrease the risk for even colon cancer. Now, whole grain also contain phytates, which are anti-cancer substances. So there are a lot of people who are saying do not eat grains, but you should consume whole grain in your diet. It is believed that consuming whole grains 5 times per week will decrease your risk for cancer and various diseases such as diabetes and heart disease. So when you go to purchase bread, for example, please read the label and make sure you are consuming whole grain. Now, there are a lot of us who like, or a lot of people who like white rice. Kindly stay away from the white rice and do more black rice or brown rice or wild rice. Janie, I know you visit your mother. When you visit your mother, what do you take in your grocery bag for her?
Brown rice, brown spaghetti, organic broths, everything that's organic, and a lot of eggplant, fresh fruits, and fresh vegetables.
Very good, very good. Now, vegetables are also high in vitamin A, vitamin C, and antioxidant, as well as other phytochemicals. Now, these vegetables and legumes as well, they're high in fiber, and these are anti-carcinogen. For example, phytic acid and phytates that are seen in legumes are very, very powerful anti-cancerous substances. So if you're listening to us today, make sure that you go home and change whatever you have in your cabinet, whatever you have in your pantry, whatever you have in your refrigerator. And at this time, I'm going to demonstrate a simple recipe that you can use at home if you're thinking that you need to change the lifestyle. In the kitchen today, we have Maribel.
Thank you, Doctor, for inviting me.
Maribel, we have been speaking about breast cancer, early detection and prevention. And we know that healthy nutrition is one of the goals to prevent any cancer.
That is correct.
What do you have for us today in the kitchen?
We have something raw, like you all know. All our green vegetables are antioxidants, but they're very good at fighting cancers. Any type of cancer, not just breast cancer. So today we're cooking, or we're really not cooking, we're tossing a raw kale salad.
All right, go right ahead, Maribel.
Okay, we're gonna start by adding our kale. And you're gonna pick 2 bunches of kale, wash them 3 times at least, cut them, and the best recommendation that I have is not to put the veins. Not that we don't like them, but if the first time you try it, it might be a little bitter.
And sometimes the vein is hard as well.
That is correct, the texture of it. Then we're gonna go ahead and add 2 medium zucchinis, and the way you're gonna cut them is just along, or julienne.
Very good. All right. So you're using green vegetables. Green vegetables, as you say, are good for any cancer.
Any cancer.
Antioxidant, which means anti-cancer. Go ahead, Maribel.
We're going to proceed by adding celery. Another, even if it doesn't look that green, celery has been proven to be a wonderful anti-cancer fighting agent too. And it's also good for blood pressure, like we all know.
Very good.
We have a diced or chopped bell pepper. Gonna try to put them on the side so you can see all of that, and we will toss it at the end. Find yourself a small or half of an onion and also put it in there.
Very good.
We found some cherry tomatoes at least 12 and go ahead and just cut them in halves.
And we have different colors, and remember, there are different vitamin minerals with each color vegetables.
Yes. What we're gonna do is add a little bit of protein or our omegas, which are our nuts. And we have some pine nuts, and just drizzle them, and I'm gonna save some towards the end, and some chopped pecans. Save some for the end, and then we're gonna use the juice of 1 lemon and just squeeze it evenly around. And if you want to save the other half, like I saved my nuts, just to wait until after you toss it. Some of us need a little extra, and what would you recommend, Dr. Cooper? A little bit of...
Probably add a small amount of olive oil.
Correct.
But remember, you don't necessarily need the oil because you already have the nut. But if you need a little extra, then the olive oil is okay.
Olive oil. Or Mrs. Dash also. And it comes with either salt or salt-free. And you can add a little bit of Mrs. Dash depending if you need a little extra salt or seasoning on it. We will continue to add the last part of our nuts. Pine nuts.
And this is a very wholesome salad, as we say. You notice you have the nuts, which gives you your good fats. And of course, you have all the vegetables for the fiber, the minerals, and the phytonutrients. All right, Maribel, I think that's going to be very delicious.
It is, Doctor.
All right. So, Maribel, I recommend this to anyone who wants to live a happy, healthy, and longer life. And for more recipes, visit our website, www.gethealthywithdrcooper.tv. Thank you, Maribel.
Thank you, Doctor.
Now, if you notice, the salad had many vegetables. Now, the kale is a cruciferous vegetable, which is proven to help to have anti-cancer property. Cruciferous vegetables also include cabbage. You could also use collard greens and broccoli. These are vegetables that have anti-cancerous property. Now, as I mentioned there, that vitamin A, C, and E are essential to prevent cancer. Now, in all of those vegetables we use, we had vitamin A and C. In the nuts, you'll have the vitamin E. Now, as you're trying to get yourself cancer-proof, you need to go over all the list of foods that I gave you. But most importantly, you probably need to just think about the foods you should not eat. And what are the foods that we discussed that you should avoid? Janie, can you give us some of the foods we should avoid?
Any processed meats, your hams, your sausage, any pork meats, really any processed meats is the most important.
Right.
And any white bread, any refined wheats. We need to stay with the grains.
Right. The processed meats, as I mentioned, have chemicals that are regarded as carcinogen 1. So you have to avoid the processed meats. As a matter of fact, if you can avoid all meats, that's best. Now, if you think you cannot just go straight vegetarian, then select a day of the week. You know, every Monday I'm going to go with a plant-based meal, or every 2 days of the week. Just decrease the consumption of these foods. Now, I'm going to ask Alicia. Alicia, what are some of the fruits that you think you should be consuming in your daily diet?
Your citrus, like
Citrus?
oranges, limes, pineapples, tomatoes.
Right. Berries?
Or your strawberries, berries, blackberries.
Right.
Yes.
Now, remember, the berries and all these fruits are high in the vitamins, the phytochemicals, the antioxidant. Antioxidants will prevent free radicals from functioning, from fighting your cells. and from causing cancer. Now, even though I did not mention earlier in this program that vitamin D is a vitamin that is now believed to be able to help you prevent different types of cancer. Vitamin D is a prohormone. It is a gene regulator, and therefore, if you have a good level of vitamin D in your blood, then the vitamin D will help to decrease gene mutation. Mutation of the gene will produce cancer. All right. Now, what about legumes? You know, a lot of people think you should stay away from beans and peas because, you know, of various effects like bloating and so forth. But I discussed that beans and legumes are high in various phytates and phytic acid, which will help to prevent the growth of cancer cells. Now, exercise. Now, exercise is medicine. And since we're taking a holistic approach to health, we want to empower you to fight cancer, then exercise is important. Now, exercise, you can just do brisk walking daily, at least 30 minutes a day, 6 days a week. Get up, go outside, get a body, and walk. Walk, move in your upper extremity, move your lower extremity, walk until you're feeling a little shorter breath. And if you don't like to walk, if it's cold, then do some exercise at home. Now, Janie, I'm going to go back to you. What type of exercise are you doing?
It's just walking around the neighborhood.
Very good.
Also working in the yard to get my vitamin D early in the morning. It's mostly important. Only if you were out there 15 minutes a day. Anywhere from 8 to 10 o'clock in the morning is the best consumption of your vitamin D.
Very good. You're so right, Janie. Spending 10 to 15 minutes a day between 10 and 3 o'clock will give you 2,000 international units of vitamin D, and that is your daily requirement. Now, last week, I think I talked about the risk of the consumption of alcohol. Remember, I mentioned that consuming three alcoholic drinks per week will increase your risk for breast cancer by 15%. And if you were to continue to drink on a daily basis, that risk is increased by 7 to 10% more. So if you want to prevent breast cancer, and if you have it already and you don't want the breast cancer to reoccur, then you must consider decreasing the consumption of alcohol. We also know that tobacco smoking will increase your risk for not only breast cancer, but cancer of the oral cavity, cancer of the esophagus, cancer of the stomach, cancer of the bladder. So smoking. Now, the trend of smoking is on the decline. But if you're one of the ladies out there or men listening to the show, then please consider decreasing your use of tobacco and alcohol. Now, there's another factor that we need to probably address, and that is stress management. I'm going to ask these ladies, how do you manage your stress on a daily basis? What do you do? Alicia?
Well, to manage my stress, I turn off my lights, and it's not yoga. I'm not into yoga, but I do relax and I breathe in and out slowly. I take 5-10 minutes of my time. I do have children, but I make 5-10 minutes of my time to do that and relax and let my mind go and not think of anything.
Yeah, just disconnect.
Disconnect
from your
yes.
family, disconnect from your
Yes.
problem,
Yes.
and just relax and
breathe.
meditate.
Yes.
What about you, Jane? How do you relax?
I go into a room and I meditate, and then I grab my prayer book and pray.
I love that. I love that. So she's connecting herself with prayer. She's connecting herself with the great healer. And, you know, studies have shown that people that have faith, people that pray, people that try to control their stress tend to be healthier. People that attend church on a regular basis have a chance of living longer, healing faster, having less mental problems. So if you're listening to me and you don't have a faith community, then it's time to look around and connect yourself with someone. Connect yourself with a church, because there indeed you will find peace and you will find hope. You know, studies have also shown that patients or people that pray a lot or meditate, regularly, tend to reshape their brain. They have a bigger frontal lobe. So if you really want to be more intelligent, if you want to have reshape your brain, then please do connect. And of course, there's hope. There's hope in the Bible. If you're Christian and you're listening to me, then there's really hope. A lot of times one gets depressed. They have a diagnosis as cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, whatever cancer it is. And one becomes withdrawn or go into depression. But if you were to take out your Bible, there are a lot of passages in the Bible that will bring hope. So if you're listening to me, just remember that there is hope. Now, as we come to the closure of this program on breast cancer, we need to review, because if you have just joined the program, we are discussing breast cancer and how we can fight together. I'm going to review a few of the facts that I gave in the earlier on in the program about breast cancer. That breast cancer is the #1 cancer in women, but it can also affect men, and that actually you can protect yourself, prevent yourself from cancer. There are certain risk factors for breast cancer: family history, mother has cancer, breast cancer, or sister or an aunt, then you're at a higher risk. If you had your first child at a late age, then you're at risk for breast cancer. If you have been on estrogen, whether it's oral contraceptive or estrogen at menopause, then you are at an increased risk. If you had radiation to the breast or the chest area, you are at increased risk. Now, if you smoke, if you drink, if you're overweight or obese, you are at increased risk. Now, there are some modifiable risk factors. For example, inactivity will place you at increased risk. Eating a diet high in animal product will increase your risk. Increased risk also refined foods, or people that do not consume enough fruits and vegetables in their diet. And what is enough fruit and vegetables? The recommended amount of fruits and vegetables is, for example, 4 to 5 servings of fruits daily and 4 to 5 servings of vegetables a day. That is recommended amount. And Janie, is there anything else you want to tell us about, surviving breast cancer, actually, because you're a survivor twice?
Survivor twice of breast cancer, and every day is a blessing. Every day I thank God, and I pray to Him that He's given me another opportunity. So now it's up to me to make that complete change. And thanks to the Wellness Center, I've learned to exercise. I learned more to pray, and also how to cook and prepare my own meals. So it's been a complete life change style for me.
Very good, very good. Now, in your family, you have multiple people with different cancers. Have you reached out to them and tried to educate them and how they can prevent, a recurrence?
Yes, we have. We've started to slowly change their diets and avoid any processed meats and the grains, make sure they're whole grains and avoiding their sugars. And getting involved and getting more close to God and prayer. And really our family has been more united, and we do have a buddy system for us, since we also have the mammograms we need to do, and we make sure everybody goes through them. And since there's colon cancer in our family, we also have to go through colonoscopies yearly, so we buddy up on that system too.
Very good. And now, if you're listening to us and you want to reach out to myself or to Janie or to Alicia, just send me a message. If you'd like us to discuss another topic, if you have questions, please put your question there. And for all of you today that are putting questions there, I will respond later to your question. I'll try my best to get back to all of you. Now, Alicia, how are you trying to prevent yourself and your family from getting the C word, the C disease?
Well, I tell them that cancer is not the end of the world. There's a lot of progress made out there. You do want to prevent it. That is the best thing to do. Mammograms, your breast, you check your breast every month. But if you do have it, treatment has come a long way. And now we know that our foods that we eat can help us prevent it, so we don't have to get to that point.
And remember, ladies, that if you do not have health insurance, then this month of October, there are many hospitals and facilities are offering the mammogram at a discounted rate. So please go to your provider and ask for an order sheet to get your mammogram done. You do not have an excuse. You can actually fight this disease by taking control of your health. So ladies, you're listening to me, then reach out to us. And as I was mentioning, that if you need us to discuss anything else, please find me, send me a message, and I will try to write that topic in. And what I'm trying to do is to get patients to give their experiences. A lot of times, as I try to educate the community, when I bring in any patients who have gone through this particular disease process, then it's a little bit more effective because others will identify with the patients and will want to take control of their health. So remember that some cancers are lifestyle diseases. Diabetes is a lifestyle disease. Hypertension can be improved or even be prevented using lifestyle modifications. So therefore, I ask you to change lifestyle. It is not easy to make a change. You know, many of us have lived a certain way. We have been eating a certain way for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And to be told that there is a need to change could be very difficult. It could be daunting, but it is not impossible. So therefore, start making baby steps. Start changing few things in your diet, and it will become easier. Get my books. They are online. You can get them at Amazon. I have one, 14 Days to Amazing Health, Incredibly Delicious Vegan, and Get Healthy for Life. Find these books. In them, you'll find the pearls to live a longer, happier life. And if you want to reach out to my courses are online. Go to my website, drdonacooper.com, or gethealthwithdrcooper.com/courses. And there you'll find the courses. Because remember, as physician, I can only educate. I can treat acute diseases. But actually, you can take charge of your health. So ladies, as we leave the air, what final word will you give these ladies listening as we try to fight this cancer together? First, I'll go to Janie. What can you tell?
Prevention. Prevention is the #1 key. Don't wait till it's too late.
Right.
Prevention. And start doing a little at a time. Start changing whatever you have in your cabinets, your food. You can live without meat one day. You can push it out forever.
Very good. Thank you, Janie. Prevention is better than cure. What about you, Alicia? What would you say to our viewers that are listening from all over the world?
Keep a positive attitude. If
like
you
that.
are diagnosed, keep going. Keep a positive attitude. Eat healthy. And set an example for your family.
I love that. And you know, the Bible says in Proverbs 17 verse 22, a merry heart is good medicine. So you must be positive. Don't get depressed and stressed because you're told that you have cancer. Remember, we have a God who is our creator, a God who is the greatest healer. Reach out to him and tell him your needs. He will strengthen you. Remember, the Bible says also, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Let us fight this disease together. And ladies and gentlemen, please share this video and find us on Facebook. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'll
Dr.
see you.
Cooper, for having us.
Thank you, Janie. Thank you, Alicia. I'll see you next week, same time. Send me your questions and I will answer them. Bye-bye.
Bye.